Good morning. Welcome to Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace. Welcome to the Soul of Sunday. We are Unitarian Universalists. Ours is a historic faith with a progressive theology. We affirm the worth and dignity of every being, and that we are all deeply interconnected. We are bound to one another, not by creed, but by covenant. And we are called to answer the call of love with open minds, open hearts, and open hands. Whoever you are, those of all nations, all creeds, all colors, all kinds of love, you are welcome here.
Gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna keep on moving proudly. Keep on
As we gather here at Arlington Street Church, we acknowledge we are on the homeland of the Massachusetts. By making this land acknowledgement, we recognize, honor, and affirm the sovereignty of all First Nations peoples. Dear ones, as always, it is so good to be together while apart. I am joined in the sanctuary this morning by our Executive Minister, Beth Robbins, Director of Music, Mark David Buckles, Yulia Yun on organ and piano, Julie Metcalf on violin and drums, Andrew Stack, bass, Daniel Rosenzweig, tenor. Welcome home, Daniel. Molly Flynn, mezzo-soprano, and Hannah Shanefield, soprano. John O'Connor's our worship coordinator. Thank you, friends. And as always, none of this would be possible without our tech team. Here this morning are Art Nava, producer and director, Rich Abreu, cinematographer, and Cam Moorhead, wizard of Zoom. We are supported remotely by Sandy Dixon, Chala Hazar, and Frank Lee. Our video director and audio engineer is Matt Malakowski, who is very busy preparing the sanctuary for hybrid worship. Thank you, one and all. For those who are new to Arlington Street, I want to say a very special welcome to you. Please take a moment now, if you would, to fill out a connection card. The link is in the chat. Since I can't greet you in person after the service, I'd love to follow up with a virtual hello. Whether you've been coming here for years or today is your first time at Arlington Street, welcome home.
Morning. What a joy to be here with you all this morning. If you haven't already downloaded today's order of service, it's available in the chat and on the homepage at ascboston.org. All of the hymn lyrics are included in the order of service and will be posted in the chat so that we can sing along together. There's also a link to Sermon Bingo on the homepage. Feel free to play along while Reverend Kim preaches. As we continue our greetings, let us say hello in the chat and engage that Arlington Street Church spirit of welcome that transcends physical distance as we greet one another heart to heart.
Our first hymn this morning is number 1020 for those of you following along in the hymnals. Woe ya ya, we are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within.
sanctuary, all made holy, loved and true, with thanksgiving, I'll be your living sanctuary for you.
It is now time for our treasured ritual of sharing community candles of sorrow and joy. These candles were submitted on our website by the Friday evening deadline. If you didn't submit your candle and have a joy or sorrow you would wish to share this morning, please wait until the third candle is lit, the silent candle, and then type your joy or sorrow into the chat. In addition to sharing our sorrows and joys this morning, let's reach out to one another in the week ahead, staying connected. May these times remind us of how very precious this beloved community is. We need one another. Despite having to be apart, may we stay close. And now, in the spirit of invocation, let's join in singing Sanctuary. The words are printed in the order of service and in the chat.
Some of us come today with heavy hearts. We open our hearts to you.
This morning, we have one candle of sorrow from Dawn Richter. My sister in Tacoma, Washington, just fell and broke 4 ribs. She's 88 years old. The hospital is focusing on possible pneumonia.
And some of us come today in joy. We share your joy.
A candle of joy from Lois Hartza. I'm celebrating 20 years of being here at Arlington Street Church. It's been a mutual commitment through good times and hard times. I'm especially thankful this week after an in-person meditation walk with my Arlington Street Church spiritual companions. I have missed our in-person connection so much. From Dawn Richter, a candle of joy. My brother's son, who lives in South Lake Tahoe, had to evacuate his home in haste. It wasn't easy. He's a veteran with health issues. He just messaged me that he is safe with a friend in Dubuque, Iowa. Candle of joy from Teresa Hebert. By the time this candle is read, I will be visiting my parents, siblings, nieces, and nephews in Portland, Oregon. My first time seeing my family in almost 2 years. And that concludes our joys for this morning.
Sanctuary.
For all the sorrows and all the joys we hold in our hearts, we light a silent candle to remember and to rejoice. May the peace of this sanctuary enter into our hearts as we share a quiet moment together, breathing our prayers for ourselves, for one another, for our country, and for the world. Amen.
Let's join now in saying together the affirmation and covenant of this beloved spiritual community. The words are printed in the order of service and in the chat. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is our gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to speak our truths in love, and to help one another.
El amor es el espíritu de nuestra congregación y el servicio es nuestro regalo. Esto es a lo que nos comprometemos, convivir en paz, hablar nuestras verdades con amor y ayudarnos los unos a los otros.
Our next hymn today is With My Own Two Hands by Ben Harper. Kim introduced me to this song earlier this year, and I just know it's going to be one that we love to sing together. Can you hear my guitar now okay? All right, great. It goes like this. I can change the world with my own two hands, make it a better place. With my own two hands, make it a kinder place. With my own two hands, with my own two hands. With my own two hands. Let's all try that. I can change the world. I can change the world with my own two hands, make it a better place. With my own two hands, make it a kinder place. With my own two hands, with my own two hands. With my own two hands. I can make peace. I can make peace on earth. With my own two hands, I can clean up the earth. With my own two hands, gonna reach out to you. With my own two hands, with my own two hands. With my own two hands. I'm gonna make it a brighter place. With my own two hands, gonna make it a safer place. With my own two hands, gonna help the human race. With my own two hands, with my own two hands. With my own two hands. I can hold you with my own two hands, and I can comfort you with my own two hands. But you got to use your own two hands. Use your own two hands. Use your own two hands. With our own two hands. With our own two hands.
The woman riding out in front of the French Bike Club group ride, leading the way, is named Jeanette. She is 86 years old. My friend and wise teacher, Sylvia Borstein, rides with her whenever she's visiting. She just turned 85. I find their ages alone inspiring, but this is not a story about their ages. This is a lesson from Jeanette, who one fine day, looking back to check out the riders behind her, skidded against a curb, was thrown from her bike, and broke her leg in 3 places. She was in a cast for 3 months. Sometime later, Sylvia asked Jeanette if she feels anxious about riding through the roundabout where the accident happened. No, Jeanette answered, I try not to think about it, and I pay more attention to the curb. And look, I had to have this pedal built up because my leg is shorter now. Otherwise, I couldn't balance. This way, I get to go out with the club again, and that's what I want to do. It's not a big deal. You just have to figure out what you can do so you can keep on going. So that's the whole sermon. You just have to figure out what you can do so you can keep on going. The rest is commentary. The generations who came before us proffer many lessons in survival. My friends Ruth and Peter Fleck, now of blessed memory, fled the Nazi invasion of Holland. They arrived in the United States with almost nothing. At an especially perilous time in this country's political history, I remember asking Ruth, what should I do? Ruth didn't hesitate. She answered, just keep doing what you're doing. So maybe that's a kind of koan, a puzzle for us. What is it that we're doing now that's enabling us to keep on going? Some of you sent me your one wild word this week. Thank you. Mine is serve. Yours are nature, connections, patience, acceptance, compassion, simplify, serving, clean, transcendence, fresh air, incarnate, quiet, receive, peace, protect, kintsugi, reframe, reach, gratitude, community, blossom, nurture, persevere, laugh. These are just beautiful. Living into our one wild word during this time is one way to keep going. Sylvia Borstein tells another story. Her friend Martha's brother Jack was very sick. There was really nothing anyone could do. Sylvia was sitting at her computer thinking about Jack, distracted from writing, and she knew suddenly that she needed not to keep doing what she was doing. She writes, I closed the computer, I lit a candle, I sat in my rocking chair and looked out the window. I thought about Jack and his children and grandchildren. I thought about Martha in her 60s, who often described herself as Jack's baby sister, and about Martha's mother, almost 90, facing the loss of her son. Pretty soon I find myself thinking about other people I know who are suffering. I think good wishes for them, individually for as long as I can keep up, and then collectively when I realize my list is enormous. I say the phrases that are part of the Buddhist metta or loving kindness practice, which end with, may all beings everywhere be happy and peaceful and come to the end of suffering. I felt better, Sylvia continues. I looked at the few late summer flowers still blossoming outside my window. I thought about how fragile all life is and how quickly it passes. I was glad to be alive. I thought about my family and friends who were well and felt fortunate. I prayed that they would thrive. I wished everyone I could think of well. I felt peaceful and happy. My heart feels better in relationship, Sylvia concludes, and I love that my heart reminded me, turn off the computer, light a candle, pay attention. I thought about how easily my mind forgets what it knows, how easily it falls into confusion and out of caring connection. None of this is about avoiding confusion because we can't. It's about becoming unconfused and restoring connection because that really is the best way to live. You just have to figure out what to do so you can keep on going. Let's back up a little. What is it that stops us in our tracks? For starters, as a species, life in a body is uncomfortable. We're always looking for ways to feel better. Take a minute to thumb through a magazine, just riffle the pages and stop at the ads. They all come back to improving on whatever we're experiencing right here, right now. But in fact, there is no permanent cure for discomfort. Life in a body with all its needs is uncomfortable. In 1969, NASA astronaut Rusty Schweickart made the first spacewalk without an umbilical. Every word of his description is anointed. But I always remember, especially what he said about coming back to Earth. Here it is. Down you come into the atmosphere. As you come back in, you experience deceleration. It seems as though you're under incredible pressure. You know that you're experiencing at least 4 Gs, 4 times the force of gravity. And you say, Jim, he is speaking to fellow astronaut Jim Lovell, Jim, what is it now? And he says, 0.2 of a G. By the time you reach 4 or 5 Gs, he concludes, you begin to realize the burden that humankind has lived under for millions of years. Life in a body can be hard. Life under gravity is almost unbearable. Life stops us in our tracks. When it comes right down to it, the instructions in meditation are simply stay. Stay with what you're experiencing. If you're seated on a cushion, it's sit, stay. Taking our meditation up off the cushion and out into the world, the instructions are pay attention, stay. The more we train in staying with whatever our discomfort is, physical, emotional, spiritual, the more we understand what it is to be human. It goes against the grain to be present, to stay present. All of us derive comfort from the imaginary world of memories and fantasies and plans, but the more we practice staying and the more we stay, noting that gentleness and a sense of humor can give us the strength to settle down, the more we build steadfastness and resiliency, and the more we run from it, whatever it is, the more it will pursue us. My friend Jim had a recurring nightmare that he was being pursued. Running, 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 his heart pounding. He could hear someone closing in on him, something faceless and horrifying, intent on destroying him. Night after night, he would awaken in a cold sweat, trying to scream. It was terrifying. And then one night, dreaming the same terrible dream, suddenly he stopped. He stopped in his tracks and turned around to face his monster. Eyes wide open, he found himself looking into a mirror. Gazing at his own reflection, he woke up. You just have to figure out what to do so you can keep on going. Let's get really granular here. If we're feeling immobilized, it is critically important to back away from always and never thinking. Shorten that horizon, come right into the present, and consider a single next step. Some 500 years before the Common Era, Confucius, that paragon of Chinese sages, said, "The one who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones." This summer, on the morning that my friend and I opened her deceased mother's bookshop, to begin to imagine how we were going to offload 30,000 books in the middle of a pandemic, I heard Confucius's words ringing in my ears. How do you move a mountain? Begin by carrying away small stones. And you know how I feel about so-called multitasking. It's not really possible. At any given moment, we're either doing one thing or we're doing another. When we switch between tasks, the science tells us it takes an average of 23 minutes and 15 seconds to regain our concentration. When we focus on one stone at a time, the mountain will move. Another way, another important way to keep on going is to move ourselves. If you can get outside to walk or roll, great. If you can exercise, even better. But even changing our vantage point, even moving to another room, can change our mental point of view. Refresh your vision. Maybe the hardest thing about getting ourselves unstuck is to commit to a schedule. Just this. What small stone are you going to move today? Structure is really important to our sanity. If we have a routine, a ritual in place, then even in those days when we question our sanity, we'll still know the next best thing to do. One of the biggest challenges of the pandemic has been the disruption of our usual ways of doing so much of what we do. Get even one thing into the calendar every day that puts you in touch with others, and one thing that brings you joy. If you're lucky, those are one and the same. And don't fool yourself into thinking your stuckness is unique. Talk about it, and you'll be amazed at how many people have been there before you. I'm thinking of another Sylvia Boorstein story in which she's at the airport and the young couple behind her is bickering about whose fault it is that they're late. By the looks of their bag, they're headed off on a vacation. Their disagreement is getting loud, and Sylvia is very tempted to intervene. If you've never met her, picture a little gray-haired grandmother. She muses, "I had a momentary impulse to turn around and say, listen to me, it doesn't matter one bit whose fault it is. Either you'll be in time for your flight or you won't. And if you miss this flight, there will be others. What's more, you don't know that this flight is the best one to be on. Perhaps this one will have engine trouble and the next one will arrive safely. Relax, you're ruining the beginning of a holiday with a useless skirmish." At this point in the story, I'm rooting for Sylvia to speak up, if only to imagine the looks on their faces. At any rate, she proceeds through security, and on the other side, she's gathering up her carry-on, and the couple just in front of her, having made it through the TSA screening unscathed, pauses to kiss and exchange a quick hug. She says, right in the middle of getting redressed. Sylvia continues, "Then I thought, I should call the attention of the arguing folks behind me to the kissing folks in front of me. Look, I could tell them, here is another possibility. In fact, there are two possibilities, at least two in any moment. You can kiss or you can fight. Kissing is better." at any one of us, any moment. Any of us might be a fighter or a kisser. Each of us can make things harder, or we can make them easier. You just have to figure out what to do so you can keep on going. I return now to astronaut Rusty Schweikert re-entering our atmosphere under that tremendous crush of gravity. Here's what he says. As you look out the window, you see your heat shield trailing out behind you in little bright particles flaking off, the whole atmosphere behind you glowing, this glowing sheath sort of corkscrewing back up towards space. And finally, you slow down enough so that all of the bright lights outside the window, the fireball that you've been encased in, have dissipated. You throw the next to last switch and it goes pop, and the parachutes, the drag chutes come out, and you slow down to a couple of 100 miles an hour, and then you throw one more switch and pop, out go the main chutes, and splash, you're on the surface of the Atlantic, and there are people circling around in helicopters and ships. You're back in humanity again. It's an incredible feeling. Maybe in the end, in the beginning and in the end, that's how we keep on going. We remember that we're in humanity. Against all odds, even when we're apart, we're together. And we all just keep on going. I close with one of my favorite poems by Austrian poet Rainer Mario Rilke. It's called God Speaks to Each of Us. And if you'd like, in the first stanza, you could substitute the word love for God. I'll read it both ways. God speaks to each of us as God makes us, then walks with us silently out of the night. Love speaks to each of us as love makes us, then walks with us silently out of the night. These are the words we dimly hear. You, sent out beyond your recall, go to the limits of your longing. Embody me. Flare up like flame and make big shadows I can move in. Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final. Don't let yourself lose me. Nearby is the country they call life. You will know it by its seriousness. Give me your hand. Amen.
Every time I feel this wave, this old familiar sinking, I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. Hallelujah, let myself be lifted. Hallelujah.
Friends, our generosity continues to astound everyone. We are continuing to pay our staff and maintain our building even when most of us can't even be here. I had the opportunity to serve as the summer intern minister here at Arlington Street Church. It was a deep dive into parish ministry, and I loved every bit of it. Now, I'm entering my third and final year at Harvard Divinity School and preparing to apply for my clinical rotation in an area hospital. I started my professional career as a lawyer, and for the past 28 years have been running a residential real estate business. But my 30-year journey here at Arlington Street Church and the opportunity to be of service as a layperson has drawn me into a passion for work in the field of ministry. I want to thank all of you who have helped me along the way and to hear the calling to serve as a chaplain in the fields of addiction, mental health, and recovery. Arlington Street Church is a place that nourishes growth and transformation. It amazes me what this beloved community can bring forth in each and every one of us. I love watching each of us become even better versions of ourselves. Friends, Arlington Street Church is entirely self-sustaining. Please take a moment to join me in giving generously in filling our virtual collection plate. You can text the word GIVE, G-I-V-E, to 617-300-0509. You can scan the QR code in the order of service. You can visit our homepage at ascboston.org and click on the yellow Donate Now button. Or you can write a check and mail it in to Arlington Street Church. Thank you for your generosity. After you make your gift to sustain our beloved community, please continue to share in the chat what inspires you during these challenging times.
Child, I know you're weary and your eyes want to close, and the days are getting longer, we're not getting any stronger, trust me, Mama knows. But lie in my arms while you're sleeping and think of the rivers you've crossed. I'll tell you the dreams I've been keeping for moments like this when your hope is lost. Hear my song, it'll help you believe in tomorrow. Hear my song, it'll show you the way you can shine. Hear my song, it was made for the times when you don't sing, you'll be fine. 'Cause I'll be singing hold tight. I know it's dark right now, but just believe somehow that soon there will be hold fast. That's not enough for some, just the right hope that you can pass. You and Mama say goodnight. Hear my songs Hear my Listen to the song that I sing. Listen to the words in my heart. Listen to the hope I can bring, and we start to grow and shine. Listen to the song that I sing and trust me. We'll be fine.
There's always a lot going on in the Zoom room. There are weekly gatherings for loving kindness meditation, poetry, a tea party, yoga, and writing. And in addition, this week, Gay Men's Coffee Connection meets tomorrow at 5 p.m. and at 6 p.m., Reverend Kim will host an intersectional book discussion about Isabel Wilkerson's Caste. Please visit ascboston.org for information about everything going on. To attend any of these gatherings, you don't have to be a member. You don't have to turn on your video. You don't even have to talk if you don't want to. And best of all, it's free, and all are always welcome. Each Sunday, we share our collection plate with a partner in our mission of love, service, justice, and peace. This month, our gifts are being shared with Louisiana's Lowlander Center to support their efforts in Hurricane Ida relief and recovery. You can read all about it in the order of service. Please text the amount you want to give in the word SHARE to 617-300-0509. Detailed instructions are found in the chat. Thank you for your generosity. Following the service, everyone is welcome to join in virtual coffee hour. If you'd like to come, you can answer yes to an invitation that will appear on your screen, inviting you to participate in a breakout room conversation. Before I turn it over to Mark, David, and Julie for the closing hymn, thank you to all of you who joined in today's service and to all of those who made it possible. Thank you. Remember, we are all in this together.
So good to be with you today. Our final hymn is I Am Willing by Holly Near. I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would be so strange. Hope you'll sing it along with me. Here we go. I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. There is hurting in my family, and there is sorrow in my town. There is panic all across the nation, and there is wailing the whole world round. But I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. May the children see more clearly, and may the elders be more wise. May the winds of change caress us, even though it burns our eyes. 'Cause I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. Give me a mighty oak to hold my confusion. Give me a desert to hold my fears. Give me a sunset to hold my wonder, and give me an ocean to hold my tears. 'Cause I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. So lift me up to the light of change. So lift me up to the light of change. One more time. So lift me up to the light of change.
Before our benediction, I invite you to reach out your hands and touch the sides of your square. Touch hands of the people to your left and to your right, and send out love to the person on either side of you and to the people on either side of them. Send out love into this beloved spiritual community and feel it coming back to you. Love is the spirit of this congregation. And now for our benediction, I invite you to put your hands over your heart in Namaste. I bow to the divine in you. Our benediction is from Emma's Revolution. Gonna keep on moving forward. Gonna keep on moving forward. Gonna keep on moving forward, never turning back. Never turning back. Let us keep this faith, beloveds, and pass it on. The service begins when the service ends. Bless your hearts. I love you. Amen.
Please visit ascboston.org for more information about this historic Unitarian Universalist congregation. Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace.